My name is Mike Abiola. Welcome to another edition of Africa Alive Talk Series, where we examine issues affecting the continent of Africa. Today, our focus is on Nigeria, where the restructuring issue is getting louder and louder. With me in the studio today is Eunice Atuejide. Eunice is a legal and business management professional. Eunice,
thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so flattered that you're doing this yourself. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Today we're examining whether the present structure in Nigeria is actually fit for purpose. I'll ask Eunice to tell us exactly how she got involved in politics in Nigeria. How did it all start for you?
I went to law school in Nigeria when I finished from here, and while at law school, I watched the system. I decided there and then that I wanted to be involved. So I researched the political parties in Nigeria, and I realized that it's literally the same people moving from one party to the other. So there was obviously no real difference between anybody who is involved in politics and any of the political parties that were existing. So, and then there was this, when you ask around, you find that you can't get in there if you really want to go in there and change the status quo. So if you're not going to play by their rules, you have no business going in there. So I talked with a lot of my colleagues, and we decided the best way to get involved was to form a political party, and the political party that allow all of us, diaspora, locals, young, old, however you are, wherever you are, your religion, it doesn't matter. Just form a political party that would be a platform for every honest Nigerian to seek power, and that's how we formed the National Interest Party.
So tell us, what stage are you right now?
At the moment, we have already finished everything we're supposed to do as a group. We have submitted all the applications to INEC. They have done their verification. So normally, within 30 days, they should have already announced that we are a political party and given us the certificate. But we are kind of still waiting for them. So far, they have not told us anything is wrong, but they have not done the final formal process of handing over the registration certificate. But we've done everything. They verified us already since July, and they didn't raise any issues during.
Tell us a bit about your background before going into the law school.
I grew up in Germany. I studied in Germany. I studied business administration. And I worked a lot in the finance industry. I did movies. I produced Nigerian films and coordinated and also marketed a lot of Nigerian artists. A lot of them are big stars now. But over the years, I realized that I wanted a lot more from my life. So I went back to school, studied law, and now I am practicing both as a businesswoman and as a lawyer. And a lot of the law I studied is really pivotal to the forming of the National Interest Party, because it was basically a lot of laws that you had to get to grips with before you can now structure the kind of political party we are doing around the laws. And we went for digitally driven political party. So we are raising a political party that would be coordinated mostly online. We'll have all our members joining us from wherever they are in the world, whether you're in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, wherever you are. If you're a Nigerian and you can show us that you're Nigerian just by giving us your birth certificate, your voter's card, or your driver's license, anything that shows us you're Nigerian, you can be a member of the party provided you're 18 years and above. So it makes it really easy for those people in the diaspora who really want to have a say in who leads who in Nigeria, to make it a lot easier for them to participate.
What's the assurance that you won't get hijacked by the old politicians in Nigeria?
They don't have a chance, because our members are really hungry, truly hungry to see a different Nigeria, a Nigeria that is for all of us. Our motto is a Nigeria for all, and we're really, truly dedicated to providing the platform for every Nigerian loving person to get a chance to seek power and to do it fairly. We don't have all this delegate system where you pick 1,000 or 2,000 members of your party, and then they are the ones that will come and choose delegates. Every party member is a delegate. So you pick who you want, and the person that gets the most votes is the person that we're going to present to INEC.
Are you saying the door is shut to all politicians?
We are
in a
not
way.
shutting our doors to all politicians. However, if you did not have a clean record in the past, you don't have a chance with us, because we've put a structure in place where everybody will be vetted. Before you even become an executive, we already have 26 people who are executives of the party. They all went through the vetting system. We have to check every country you've lived in. For 2 years, we have to check your history there, your financial situation, your criminal background, whether you were a cult member. There are lots of things in our constitution that exclude certain people from seeking political power. But all the parties in Nigeria, they ignore that. We have decided, no. Thank God for our constitution. A lot of people like to say the constitution is useless, but to us it's not. It gives a kind of framework within which we can at least start, and we have started. If you do not meet up the Schedule 2 requirements, you don't even have to bother. Don't try to come into the leadership. Be a foundation member, be anything you want to be. Help us if you can. Bring your money, bring your talent, we'll take it. But you cannot be one of those coming out to represent us.
Remind our viewers, what's your position in this party and what's the policy thrust of the party?
Well, I am the Tem National Chairman, and once we are registered, I'll be the National Chairman, and it will go for 4 years, because we decided it was better to just have this set of people who founded the party get the first 4 years. We have a clear idea of where we're going to, so let us do it for the first 4 years, and then everybody else can come in and do what they need to do to take over if they wish to. But for the first 4 years, we'll be the ones to guide the party into its existence. So our policy is basically, we are in the center kind of democratic kind of center. We are not extremely conservative, but we are not extremely socialist either. So we kind of struck a balance between trying to make sure that the less privileged people are well taken care of, and also trying to make sure that the enterprises, the private sector is thriving. So if you do not have a definition of what you want to do, you're already failing from the beginning. So we decided, okay, let's give the right people some chance. Let's give the rest also some chance. And the only way to do that is to stay right in the middle. Be there so that you can do some social reforms, but also be open to allowing the private sector thrive. So I'd call us a liberal democratic kind of political party.
Right. I understand in Nigeria, money plays a lot of role in politics. How do you hope to surmount all this?
It's not only in Nigeria. I mean, look at UK, look at US. Every time they tell you the figures it cost anybody to run for office, you scream. The only problem is that in Nigeria, the money politics is in bribery. Now, we will not have to bribe anybody because we are allowing everybody to partake. If you do not partake, it's because you chose not to. But if you decide you want to be part of the restructuring of Nigeria, you can come in and join us, and then we'll pick the right kind of leaders, put them in power, and allow them to help us out of the problems. So we need money, but we don't need money to bribe people and convince them to pick certain candidates. We only need money for the kind of publicity we want to make, and that kind of publicity is a practical sort. We want to do things in the society and then use those acts we show, like the acts of love and camaraderie and patriotism we give the people. We want to use those to get them to like us, to vote us, and to pick us.
That brings me to the issue we're treating today. It's the present structure fit for purpose in Nigeria.
To my mind, every structure works. The only problem is what kind of people are in charge of the governance within that structure. The UK has a unitary kind of system. It works. It works. You are able to say, okay, this is the amount of money that is there in the big pot. This part, take this one. This is what you have to do with it. You are accountable. There are checks and balances. Everybody obeys the laws. There are rules, and people stick with it. And the policies are like, it's for everybody. It's not like, okay, now I'm only in the politics because I want to favor my side. It works, whether it's unitary or federal system. It will work if we have the right people in government. A lot of people tell you that the Section 6 of our Constitution is a problem because it vests too much power in the federal government. And I tell them, that's not the problem. The problem is not that the federal government has so much power. It's that the wrong people in the federal government are exercising those powers. If you have the right people in power, what does it take to pass sub-orders, sub-legislation to devolve power to the less to the lower grassroots, and then from there lower and lower and lower. You can always devolve power from wherever it is, even if it's a monarch. If you decide that the system will work, you do the right thing, get to the grassroots, get to the people, carry everybody along, it will work. We are working with the constitution as it is, and we see progress. We have our arguments, but at the end of the day, all the different opinions will come together. We're like, okay, this is the best way to go for the success of this political party. And if we can translate this into what we're doing for the governance of the country, as we are going as a political party and progressing, the country also would obviously be going well, because we've literally done everything exactly as it is to replicate the constitution, Nigeria as it is, and then see whether it works or not.
Many people say tribal issues plays a huge role in determining who seeks political office in Nigeria. But what's your view?
It does, and there is no guarantee that it wouldn't, even with us coming out to be a really progressive and open-minded party. Tribe plays a lot of role, and religion plays a lot of role too. We've seen situations when we have to, like our manifesto took us about 6 months to argue, and in those arguments, even though we were quite a lot of liberal, well-educated people, there were also quite a lot of tribal issues, religious issues, quite conservative opinions that you had a lot of problems, dealing with. But it was a good thing for us, because even amongst us young, we're really young, most of us are under 40, and even amongst us really young people, we already see these issues, and we know for sure that it's going to be a problem in the Nigeria as a whole system. And we're saying, okay, the best thing, what we have realized is, if everybody is willing to listen to the next man, if everybody comes there with an open heart, if everybody comes in believing that there is always a different opinion from mine, and there's room for that opinion to be heard and considered, there will be progress. Tribe, religion, it will always be there, but there will always be a point where the people come together.
The southeast of Nigeria is a hot spot in Nigeria at the moment, the agitation for Biafra.
Yes.
What would your party say to that section of the country?
First of all, I am Igbo. I am from Enugu State, UK. So I'm completely Igbo. Only Igbo Gambo. However, this whole Biafra, IPOB thing was ill-advised. It was just the worst thing us Igbos could have done to ourselves. Agitation for Biafra, agitation for a better Nigeria, yes now, because all of us are suffering. If you actually look at it, the Northerners, the so-called Fulani Hausas, they are the worst hit by this marginalization. They are the ones that died the most for all kinds of illnesses in Nigeria. They are the poorest in that country. The fact that they have always or mostly produced the leaders did not change the situation for the people there. So even if they give us Ndi Igbo presidency, vice, everything, it will not guarantee anything. It will not bring any kind of change to us. What we need to do is make sure that we bring more honest people who are more interested in all of us as a people, not people who are only interested in political power and their own pockets. Whether they are Igbos or Yorubas or Efik or Kanuri, wherever the leaders are from, would not matter if they are the right people who are helping all of us progress our lives. So the agitation, it was ill-informed, and I honestly pray our people would have realized it by now and stopped the nonsense. Let's work together. It's Nigeria. We can build a Nigeria for all of us. Whether you are Igbo, Yoruba, Efik, whatever you are, Nigeria is already heavily blessed because we're different. In all that differences, in all that religious and everything, that's where the strength is. You're able to sell what you have because there are so many different people looking for that particular thing you have. So let's not fight ourselves. Igbos are not the problem. Hausas are not the problem. Christians are not the problem. Muslims are not the problem. The problem are the wrong people we have always given power to. We are the ones that are our problems, because come 2019, we'll still go there and we'll still vote the wrong guys. Well, we hope we won't this time though.
There are agitation growing in other sections in Nigeria, and I understand you speak 3 or 4 Nigerian dialects.
I do speak so.
Nigeria will be celebrating the 57th independence in few days.
Yes.
Can I ask you to wish our viewers a happy anniversary, and also appeal in local dialect, if you can,
Yes.
for this agitation to calm down.
So, my people, make I first start for pidgin English, because that one everybody will hear. I beg, I think God beg on you don't do. You don't do. All these fight, talk, cockroach, rats, dog, it's enough. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, we are not the problems of our country. The problem is bad leadership. Oburu na ezigbo leadership bata Nigeria. Kai, ọ ga-adị mma, eziokwu. O tie ma ada. Ọlọ́run mọ̀ pé ada. Let's work together, Biko. Let's work together. Let's raise our country. Let's stop these evil people, these politicians that don't want us to progress. Let's remove all of them. Once we remove all of them and put Nigeria and Nigerians loving people in power, we will progress, my people. We will progress. Biko, who's Gozi? My God. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we close, can I ask you to tell the viewers how they can reach the NIP?
You can find NIP on all the social media handles, Instagram, Twitter, at NIP for all, NIP for all. And then we have our website where you can find our manifesto constitution at the nationalinterestparty.com, nationalinterestparty.com, Facebook at NIP for all, Instagram at NIP for all, Twitter at NIP for all. Thank you very much. We hope you will join us, especially those of us in the diaspora that are helping all this diaspora become bigger. This is our opportunity. Let's go home, Pico. Let's go home. We can make Nigeria better than UK, US, Germany, wherever they are. We have the brains, we have the resources, we have the hearts. We are hardworking people. Most of the first-class students in my school, they were Nigerians. I go to Harvard and then they are Nigerians. Wherever I go, Nigerians are doing great things all over the world. Because let's go home. We can do this in Nigeria, and National Interest Party gives you the platform. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be handsome. We have disabled people amongst us. We have 70-something-year-olds. We have a 21-year-old person who is our national youth leader. So everybody is welcome. All you need is to be a good person. That's all.
Thank you so much, Eunice.
Thank you.
Viewers, I must thank you for being part of today's program. When next we come your way, I remain Mike Abiola. Thank you for watching.
African Voice Newspaper UK presents the 21st African Film Awards 2017 on Saturday the 4th of November at the Stratford Town Hall, 29 The Broadway, Stratford in London E15. Come and celebrate with A-list actors from Nollywood and best of Black British film and TV stars from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Don't miss this special evening of glamour, comedy, music, award ceremony, dinner, of course, dance. Tickets are £50 standard and VIP 100. Call the numbers on your screen now. For online tickets, visit www.eventbrite.co.uk. Don't forget, it's the most prestigious African Film Awards, also known as the Afro Hollywood Awards, celebrating excellence in its 21st edition on Saturday the 4th of November 2017. See you there. This event is supported by the listed organizations.